What up everyone, it is Toshi, and as you can tell from the title of this video, we are going to be talking about Gremmy. So obviously that's Gremmy, we all know who Gremmy is. So Gremmy first appears in chapter 573 titled I Am the Edge. The reason I'm talking about Gremmy today is I feel like Gremmy's character is a character that, you know, he wasn't in the story for that long. You know, he had the fight with Kenpachi, that was pretty much it. Like, that's pretty much all we saw of him. But we got a pretty good taste of his power and what it was. And for those of you that obviously that have read the manga, you know, this man's power is like, it's some next level shit. So obviously Gremmy is one of the Sternritters. He's assigned the letter V for the Visionary. And his power is imagination manifestation. So if you don't really know what that means, what that basically means is anything that he imagines will become reality. And when you give a character a power like that, you might as well more or less make them God. And this is one of the issues that I have with Bleach, like, as a whole, is A, power creep, and B, plot armor, because theoretically with Gremmy's power nobody should be able to defeat somebody like that, but obviously, you know, Kenpachi did, so it's not the case. He's not God, but with a power like that, I mean, you could be. And the second one is plot armor. So Kenpachi should have lost that fight. Like, you know, I'm glad that he didn't, because, you know, the Soul Reapers survived, you know, the Quincy's lost, and I get, like, you know, if all the Soul Reapers died, it would have been a pretty shitty ending to Bleach. But you know, like I said, you give a character a power like that and you expect a lot more from them. And, you know, I understand that Gremmy was a Sternritter, so obviously he was an enemy, so, you know, seeing more of his power probably wouldn't have been good for, like, you know, the actual main characters of the show, like Ichigo, Kisuke, you know, all the good guys. But I just think it's just a little bit disappointing, because you know, you give a character a power like that and you expect a lot more. You get me? Like, you know, like, don't get me wrong, other characters in Bleach have insane powers, you know, Ichibe, Byakuya, Toshiro, even Mayuri. Like, you would not want to go up against him, because even though you could be like, oh, well, he's not as physically strong as, like, Kenpachi, you're like, yeah, I'm out though. No, but, like, you, like, come on, think of his mind and the shit, like, his fight with, Xylopolo, I've never been able to pronounce that name, but, you know, like, there are other characters in Bleach with, like, insane powers and, you know, shit like that. But Gremmy, I mean, he didn't get enough screen time, I suppose. And, you know, it's a bit disappointing, because, I mean, like, look at his powers. You get me? I mean, everywhere from, you know, he can create life. Like, he created, when Isane and Yachiru were in the barracks. I can't remember where they were. They were in some sort of barracks, and that old man, like that old Sternritter, you know, hiding in the shadows, came out. That was just Gremmy's power. Like, Gremmy can literally create life. And not even just that, he doubled himself. Like, he made clones of himself. He can literally create life. Like Gremmy is, I mean, apart from, like, the Soul King, maybe you are, but I wouldn't go that far. Apart from, like, the Soul King, I honestly believe Gremmy is, like, the closest thing we've seen to a god, like, in Bleach. Because anything that he imagines becomes reality. Like, we've seen him create life. He created a meteor. He created a meteor to destroy the Sabate with all the Soul Reapers, all the Quincy's. He did not care. He created a meteor with his imagination to come down and crash down on the Sabate and kill everyone. Like, right, and he got like 3 chapters, if that. No, I don't even think he got 3 chapters. How long did the fight last? Like, because I don't even think it lasted that long. So yeah, okay, 579 is just after he died. 573 is when he was introduced. He got 6 chapters, maybe 5. I don't really know how the maths works. He got like 5 to 6 chapters. Like, introduced in 573, dead by 579. Like, do you guys understand my issue with that? Like, he can literally create life. He created a meteor. What else? What else did he do that was like literally insane? Because I've got the 3-in-1 right here. Oh yeah, creating a void of like just empty space, just the void of outer space, and just putting Kenpachi in it, putting him underwater in midair. Like, do you understand what kind of power that is? Like, Kenpachi jumped up into the air, and that certain section, I guess, of space in the air, Gremmy turned to water. And then literally, never mind creating a whole stage for him to fight on. When obviously, you know, he put Kenpachi in the water, he just shoved him into the stage. So, and what he basically said was, I don't expect you to die from your body being crushed, but you won't be able to breathe because of the water, the pressure will get too much and you will die. Obviously, Kenpachi didn't die, he broke out of that, but you understand what kind of power that is? Like, and like the void of outer space, like, he created a void of like just black, empty, like outer space, and just put Kenpachi in there, just put him like, do you understand what kind of power that is? Like, this is, like I said, it's one of the issues I have with Bleach, is like the insane plot armor. Like, it's completely like unreal, because a power like that, I mean, you could kill anyone, like Yamamoto, Ichigo, Yuha, Bazby, Kenpachi, Yachido, like a power. I know why he had to lose to Kenpachi, right? I understand why, because story, plot, like, I understand. However, the fact that he lost that fight, in my opinion, bullshit. Like, like I said, he is literally, you know, apart from like the Soul King, the closest thing we've seen in Bleach to a god, at least in my opinion. Because, like I said, he can turn his imagination into reality, and he can create life. He can create life. Yeah, obviously, you know, I don't know, well, nobody knows if he has any limitations as to what he can create. But like I said, imagination into reality, imagination manifestation, I don't see any reason why Gremmy shouldn't be able to create Hollows, Soul Reapers, Quincy's. Like, do you understand how far somebody with that power could go? Like Aizen was a great villain. Yuha, I think Aizen was a bit of a better villain than Yuha, but that's my opinion. But Gremmy could kill the both of them. Like on a realistic thing, like, I understand he beat Kenpachi, right, and that's like the only fight he had. But it's just like, how? Like, and I know he was like he was a self-proclaimed strongest Sternritter. Don't doubt it for a second. There's no need for there's not even any need for the self-proclaimed. There is like, you can't tell me that somebody who can literally create anything from their imagination, turn their imagination into reality, is the strongest. Like, that's, I don't even see why Yuha needed all the Sternritters to invade the Ceratite in the first place. All he needed was Gremmy. Like, and I understand Gremmy lost, but like the only reason, and this pisses me off a little bit, but I think it's kind of cool, because I like the way Kubo went about killing Gremmy, was that the only reason Gremmy died was that he wanted to defeat Kenpachi, right? He wanted Kenpachi's strength, he wanted to win. So that's what he did. He imagined that he was just as strong, if not stronger, than Kenpachi. And then he died because he didn't realise that even though he could imagine the full extent of Kenpachi's power, what he couldn't imagine was that the only person who could contain that power without destroying themselves is Kenpachi. So it's not even like Kenpachi killed him, it's more like Gremmy killed himself because his body couldn't handle the raw physical power that Kenpachi had, I suppose, which I think is total bullshit. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I understand that Gremmy's strength isn't physical, you know, he uses his imagination, he just doesn't even have to move, like, he's not really like a physical fighter, you know, like Kenpachi, like Ichigo, like Ikaku, Yugami, like most of the Shinigami. He's not a physical fighter, he just uses his mind. All he has to do is stand there and think, like, he doesn't even have to lay a finger on you. So, you know, I can sort of understand how he wouldn't be able to maintain the full physical strength of Kenpachi. But even then, I think that's a bit of a cheeky ending. Like, I think that's a bit of a, you know, like, barely, like, Kubo, like, by the skin of your teeth, like, you just, but, I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe nobody actually cares about Gremmy, maybe nobody actually cares about the Sternritter in general, but, you know, I I think Gremmy was a pretty big disappointment. I mean, his character was cool, his attitude was cool, his style was kind of cool, his power was like a whole next level thing. But I mean, he died too easily. But I mean, what can you do? Like, you can't, not like we can go back and rewrite it. And you know, I wouldn't rewrite Bleach even if I had the chance. Like, I wouldn't change the ending even if I had the chance, because you know, it's not my work, it's Kubo's work, and nobody can do Kubo's work better than Kubo. You get me? At least that's what I believe. So yeah, I mean, there may be some things in Bleach I'm sort of disappointed by and don't really like, but I wouldn't change any of it simply because, like, you know, it's Kubo's work, you get me? And nobody can tell him how to do his work. But, you know, I mean, I'll have a quick look through the chapter again now, but honestly, I mean, everything from creating a stage to pulling him underwater, pulling him in the void of space, the meteor thing. Oh, let's not forget he made guns and rockets appear out of nowhere and shot them at Kenpachi, you know, let's not forget that. Also, and the giant hand thing that came down to crush him. I just mean, like, it's just simply, it's unbelievable, you get me? I mean, well, saying that, Kenpachi cutting through a meteor with a single strike using Nozarashi, I mean, that's quite unbelievable as well. But, you know, I just think, you know, I understand that he was a villain, and I understand that there was no way they were all going to win, because obviously that would be a pretty shitty ending, right? You want Ichigo and everyone to win and live happily ever after and all that shit. But come on, like, you could have done so much more with Gremmy's character, like, and like, you didn't even have to kill him, you get me? You could have just, and I understand he's like a brain in a jar now for some reason, but like, you could have just, like, at least what I would have done is, like, you could have just had Kenpachi and Gremmy both heavily injured, and I would have gone with that, and then that could have been it. Gremmy could have fucked off, Kenpachi could have fucked off, end of story, because you had didn't want the Stonewaiters in the end anyway, because, you know, when he invaded the Soul Palace, right, when he went to kill the Soul King, he brought back a few Stonewaiters. Gremmy wasn't one of them. Because who was it? It was Askin. It was the guy with a mask. I can't really remember. My memory's not too good. But, no, I just think Gremmy was a pretty cool character. His power was next level. And I just wish we could have seen more of him. But, you know, never gonna happen, right? And I think I've accepted that. We all need to accept that. But it's pretty cool to think about him, right? Because, like I said, his power is, like, it's a next level thing. Like, you can't, no pun intended, but you genuinely, like, you can't imagine the extent of his power when, literally, like, if we assume the what he said is true, every single thing that he imagines becomes reality. Do you have any idea what you could do with a power like that? Like, you are a god. Like, Gremmy is literally the closest thing to a god we have in Bleach, apart from, like, the Soul King. Like, don't get me wrong, we have extremely powerful characters like Aizen, Ichigo, Yamamoto, Yuha, Ichibei. Like, I understand all of that, but they're nothing like gods. You get what I mean? Like, stereotypical creator, all-powerful gods. Gremmy, on the other hand, do you understand, like, that type of power? And I understand Yuha's power is to alter the future, so that's quite godlike as well. But, I mean, come on. Like, come on. But, you know, I mean, that pretty much does it for this video. Thanks for listening to my rant. If you enjoyed this video, please either like, comment, subscribe, all of that. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. This is Toshi, signing out.